If you haven't found your group of people, maybe not prioritizing friendships or communities and maybe starting to realize the importance of that, especially communities of like-minded people. You may have certain ideas or certain new things that you want to do or needing advice about stuff, and that means like connecting to other people, finding your community, creating a community. That's another thing. The goals that you maybe want to do or maybe have set, the things that your long-term plans, the achievements that you want, you may find that you can't do that alone and you actually need other people. This is going to mark the times of how important it is for us to stick together and how we hold the power of whatever change that we want to create, whether that's on a small scale or on a big scale. With how the world is moving, it's literally going to be up to us. No longer are we in the times where you can just hide under your little shell and rock and act like nothing is happening in the world. Anything that we've saw in the world can very much so happen to you. Because Pluto is in Aquarius, this really makes me think of something coming to an end, having to be rebirthed in some way. Before something is rebirthed, something is closed out. There's a destruction, there's an end for this new beginning. I do feel like social media is going to be impacted. If you don't get with the times, you're going to be left behind because the world is going to keep moving, and if you don't want to change or grow, it's not going to benefit you. Okay, so for the last month, we may have been subconsciously or consciously focusing or getting serious about something in our lives that most likely has to do with goals that we want to achieve this year, maybe what we want to do career-wise. Maybe we are in a job that we are not completely fulfilled in, and we're thinking about, maybe something that we actually want to do, or what do we want to do on a bigger scale besides something that brings money? What do we want to do? Like, I feel like a job and a career is different because your career is something that is lifelong. You want to commit to that. It's something that you're usually passionate in, and you want it to be a long-term thing. A job is something that you just have to do and you have to make money. So maybe you're thinking about, like, outside of your job that you just are doing just to make money, what could you see yourself doing for the rest of your life, or either long term? And also maybe creating some structure in your life. If things have been disorganized, if you have been disorganized in any part of your life, you may have been really getting serious about like creating a better like structures around the things that have been just out of whack, inconsistent. And that's another thing. Maybe you have been really thinking about like how you want to be more consistent. How do you want to commit to the things that you've been thinking about, especially last year, end of last year. You also may have been needing to handle and take care of some responsibilities in your life or become more responsible, but most likely taking care of responsibilities a little bit more. Anything that you have been putting off, been needing to like take care of that, adulting, and then creating a schedule for yourself. Maybe you have been, wanting to thinking about your goals or what new things you want to do or what do you want to commit to and how you're going to schedule it in. Or maybe you're realizing that you didn't really have a schedule or the schedule that you had before wasn't the best. So all of these themes around structure, scheduling, taking things seriously, being more responsible, and that's something that you may have been focusing on in the past month. And if you maybe haven't, maybe someone that you know, someone that you're around, or maybe on a worldly scale. But on the flip side, you may have had so many goals or so many things. You may have been thinking about these things, but you may have been feeling a little imposter syndrome-y. Are you good enough? Can you actually achieve these things? Is it realistic? Can I actually do this? You may have been focusing too much on perfectionism. Meaning like, so much so that it keeps you from actually like doing something. Maybe you want things to be so perfect, so then you delay something that should have been done. Or you overthink it too much because you want it to be so perfect or anything around that. And then at the same time, there's also may have been on one end this desire to focus on focus on new goals, plan out, create your plan, your vision board, do all these things to like work towards your goals, but then you may have been just lacking the drive to do it, the motivation to do it. It's like one part of you wants to do it, but you just don't have the energy to do it. Or like your energy comes in ebbs and flows, and your energy may be focused on like based on how you feel, which probably you've been feeling more tired, and feeling like you just kind of want to be home and like, be just in bed or anything around those lines. So you may have been feeling a lot of like burst of like, okay, inspiration. You want to actually focus on whatever. And then maybe like, oh, but seems like such a lot of work. I'm actually really tired. I don't really feel like doing all this. And then emotions start coming up, and then you just start to really emotions get in the way, and then you really just feel like, okay, I can't focus on this right now, or I really don't even feel like it. I mean, you probably like even like a New Year's goals seems so like, which I know everybody doesn't really focus on New Year's goals, but yeah, a lot of people probably wasn't really feeling like trying to do anything, like setting anything New Year's goals. I don't know. The vibe may have been a little bit different about like your desire to focus on anything because you're just too like tired, or like your emotions are somewhere else or anything around that. So those are maybe the themes that we've been feeling. Just thinking about the life that we want to build for ourselves. And I say all that because last month was Capricorn season, and Capricorn represents all of those themes. Capricorn is a sign that takes things seriously around the structures that they want to build in their life for themselves, for their family, that is going to be long lasting, long term, and also how they want to show up in the world too is a big thing. I don't know if you've been thinking about that. Or you thought about that. Like, how do you want to be perceived, or how do you want to show up in the world? And then also lastly, before we get into the actual energy that we're entering into, it's boundaries. Maybe you have realized the importance of setting boundaries and saying no to things that you just don't have the energy to, or the energy for, or don't want to give the energy to no longer wants to give the energy to, or is not worth your time, or choosing yourself first, or anything around that, respecting yourself enough to not like let others take advantage of you. Maybe taking time off from work, maybe like resting, listening to your body, not overworking yourself. So those are some of the themes that you may have been experiencing over the past month. I can't help as an astrologer to, first of all, I feel like it's already been quite a month, quite a start to the year. And, I have I'm not the most comfortable with talking about world things, because truly before I was a person who created video, I was going to say a content creator, whatever, person that created videos on YouTube, to be honest, I never paid attention to the news. I have always been an anxious person, a big worrier, scary. Just like didn't like to watch the news because then I would just worry every day that I'm just gonna die every day, to be completely frank. And so I just avoided the news. But then as I, started, creating content and grew a following, I felt a responsibility, very Capricorn energy, to not be oblivious to the things that's going on. And I can say that truthfully. So I felt like I was like not forced, but I had to, or not that I had to, but that I wanted to, um, be more informed. And then just as I grow up, you kind of just realize you can't just live under a rock, which is going to take us into like this new season, this new energy that we're entering to, Aquarius season. Because I feel that it's our job as a community, as a collective, as a society. We are the change makers. And with how the world is moving, it's literally going to be up to us. So no longer are we in the times where you can just hide under your little shell and rock and act like nothing is happening in the world. Because if so, then you are a part of the problem. And that's not okay, because anything that we've saw in the world can very much so happen to you. Anything like, like the devastating, I don't even have words. I hate to put words to things that are just so big. I hate to put words because there's no words, but like the last event that happened like in California, with the fires, like I don't ever put past, or just anything like wars happening in the world, like I don't ever put it past, like that I never think like, oh, it could never be me, or I never just be like oblivious. Like I'm very hyper aware that the state I'm in, the area that I'm in tomorrow could be completely different. Almost too much aware of that, because then like, yeah, sometimes it could worry me. But I have had to learn to not be like, to put myself, to be more aware of what's going on and doing what I can, or just doing something, and also having the space to do more, or be open to learning more. So I say that, like, even like with everything that's been happening, I still struggle with like not wanting to hear it, but then I have to get out of my mind. I have to get out of that, because one, I think, well, what, you wouldn't like it if like something happened to like where you live and people just shut it down and didn't do anything, because it was too much, So like I said, as far as the world changing and like America, and I just really do feel like I'm gonna have to be more, stop letting fear or like trying to escapist tendency, because with me being a Pisces rising, is like I can feel, anybody who has Pisces energy, I feel like can feel so much, feel everything so much, and it's almost like, oh, it's so much, but it doesn't, you can't let that defeat you. So anyways, the point is, like, I felt very overwhelmed. Not that me feeling overwhelmed has to do with anything, like I'm just talking about my experience, but I'm saying this because like I had to get out of like wanting to like escape it all and not like, and just focus on my own life, and yeah, and like learn a little bit about it, or be aware of it, and just do what I can. That's just it, And so if that means like contributing financially in ways that you can, do that. Even if it's just $1, you're contributing something. There's so many places out here. There's so many resources by now. You all should know. I mean, you could just look it up on Google or AI at this point. There's no really excuses. There's even like I just did recently, like I was at Sprouts, and when I was paying for my groceries, it asked that I wanted to round my total up, and the like extra money, the extra cents was gonna go to, the fires, and just something simple like that, just doing that. I mean, like, I feel like sometimes it can feel like you can feel like helpless because you're like, what do I do? What do I focus on? But it's just, the point is to do something, and you can never go wrong with like giving money in the ways that you can, and also like spreading the message to others as well. So I just wanted to say that because that's going to lead us to the energy for this next coming month. Starting today and for the next 30 days or so, we may be noticing in our personal lives, in the lives of other people around us, or collectively as a world, these themes. So themes around, one, community, the collective, the people. It's going to be important because it's kind of like, let me go back to the Capricorn. So like we did all the planning in Capricorn season. We planned, we scheduled, we focused, we thought of our career life, our jobs, blah, 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 goal setting, everything like that. Right. And now we may be wanting to now share whatever has happened or whatever we've learned in community, in the collective. Either like sharing your goals or whatever you want to do, whatever you want to accomplish with the group, with the collective, sharing ideas for long-term something. Or now we were maybe focused, like I said, on the bigger picture or like what goes, and now maybe we've been focused on work a lot in our own achievements, and now we are, like I said, going to be focusing more on like the collective, how we want to show up in the world. And that's it. Yes, how we want to show up in the world. Yeah. For the next month, our impact that we make on the world is going to be important. The impact that we have in our community, in our friend groups, in the world, on social media, is going to be important. Obviously, a lot of things are going to be changing. We're going to get a new president. So TikTok may be gone. Things are going to be changing, and it's going to impact us collectively. This is going to be important already for the rest of this year, but this is going to mark the times of how important it is for us to stick together and how we hold the power of whatever change that we want to create, whether that's on a small scale or on a big scale. Even when it has to do with like our country, the world, standing up for the things that we believe in, coming together as people to make changes in the ways that we can, which, giving back, speaking up, using social media to do like we've done in the past, just using our voices more, and like also knowing the power that we have, even with like putting our money to places and just stuff like that. But also on social media too. Aquarius is tied to social media. And because Pluto is in Aquarius, this really makes me think of like something coming to an end, or something like having to be rebirthed in some way. And when there's a rebirth of something, that means that before something is rebirthed, something is closed out. Something is, I don't even want to say like destroyed, or there's a destruction, there's an end for this new beginning. I do feel like social media is going to be impacted, and I feel like we all are going to be viewing social media in different ways and realizing our impact and utilizing it in different ways. That has to do with AI and any technology advances or anything around that. Very big themes, new things involving new innovations around technology. Obviously the like AI is just going to continue to be a big theme in our lives, whether we like it or not. So I believe I would just say, if you haven't been using AI, or like if you haven't been informed, if you don't get with the times, you're going to be left behind. Like that is just so true, because the world is not going to, it's going to keep moving. And if you don't want to change or grow, it's not going to benefit you. But also like community. That's another big thing. I'm kind of like bouncing all over the place right now. But like, if you haven't found your group of people, I think you really need to focus. You may be thinking about that more. Maybe if you've been a lone wolf, maybe kind of doing things on your own, or I don't know, like maybe not prioritizing friendships or communities, and maybe you may be starting to realize the importance of that, especially like communities of like-minded people. You may have like certain ideas or certain new things that you want to do, or needing advice and about stuff. And that means like connecting to other people, finding your community, creating a community. That's another thing. If you find yourself like wanting to do that. Another thing, like I said, I keep saying new ideas because that's a big theme. New things, new ideas, sharing your ideas, making an impact, even like when it comes to like, I didn't even say like recycling, or like how we can really help our world. Those are going to be like kind of the themes of Aquarius. I would definitely say like go to classes, go to places that have like-minded people. For instance, like if you're into spirituality, or if you are into spiritual wellness or astrology, like go to places, to events or workshops or anything around those lines that include those type of things, so you can connect with like-minded people, making the effort to do these things. Because I find that the goals that you maybe want to do, or maybe have set, the things that your long-term plans, the achievements that you want, you may find that you can't do that alone, and you actually need other people. Because also it's like the plan, like in this world too, which there's probably been a lot of things behind the scenes. I mean, not probably, but for sure has been a lot of plans happening behind the scenes that we don't know about when it comes to like worldly things, which I'm sure we're going to find out about soon. With Aquarius season, it's kind of like maybe the plans that have been made when it comes to like the new president. I mean, I don't even want to say that, but just like these things are going to be like, we're going to be told about, or we're going to be finding out about collectively, and needing to respond to that, and coming and working together to figure out solutions and just certain things. So I just feel like those themes are going to be important. I'm over here rambling. I really am. I need to not. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything, but I feel like those themes are very important. Community, technology, social media, new ideas, endings and beginnings, coming up with new things, new ways of doing things, new ways of looking at things, new solutions. Okay, let's pull a card for this Aquarius season. Oh, before I do that, I had to realize, okay, so Aquarius is Saturn ruled, so meaning that we're still going to be serious, but serious about communication. That's another thing. Why did I mention that? More communication, okay? More talking with each other, with one another, which definitely gonna be seeing more of that on social media with all the new things that we're gonna be entering to the new chapters, new things that just happen, endings, beginnings, all these things. We're going to be hearing more about it. But it's like socializing, and not only on social media, but in person too, okay? In your groups and your communities, how you want to help more. I don't know. I'm getting tired. Okay. All right, lots of cards came out. The first card is calling your joy guides, doing things that bring you joy, no matter what's happening in the world. Know that that's going to be important, okay? Think of the things that bring you joy: music, working out, creating something, spending time with friends. Do more of that, especially if you have difficult days or you hear about difficult things happening in the world. Know that this is important. This is going to be important, okay? Through the serious times, you need finding joy to persevere through them is going to be important. It's not selfish. It gives you fuel to then push through, navigate through changing times, and also to come together and work towards solutions. Back to basics. This card keeps coming up. So I don't know. It just shows that you need to take care of yourself, taking care of your basic needs. And maybe that's going to be, okay, so also I did say we're ending Capricorn season, but we also have Mercury in Capricorn. It's going to be in there for, I think, like the 20th something. So making sure that you are taking care of yourself, making sure you're eating enough, making sure you get enough sleep, making sure you are working out, taking care of your basic needs despite what's happening in the world, okay? You need to, this is a priority, okay? It's coming up for a reason. Don't neglect yourself because of things that are I don't want to say out of our control, because I mean, I think these are going to happen that are out of our control. Like, things in life are going to happen out of our control, but that doesn't mean that we can't take control of the solutions to those things, okay? That's what I really want to say. You can't do that if you haven't been taking care of yourself, okay? And then once again, you can't really do it if you're like pessimistic. Being optimistic and like I said, still finding the joy in your life, because at the end of the day, you have to be present, because like it's like sometimes I've learned not to be guilty for when there's things happening in the world. It doesn't serve you well. Like you're gonna have natural reactions to it, and yes, take your time to deal with your feelings, especially after you did all the things that you could to make a difference, to help, whether you giving money, used your voice, showed up to volunteer, just anything around those lines. And yeah, feel your feelings, but don't feel bad for like, because first of all, life, you do, like, we still have responsibilities personally. It's not like we can just stop things in our lives, but also it's like connecting to gratitude, because it's also like, you don't want to, at the end of the day, like, you never know what could happen to you or your life tomorrow. And it's like, you don't want to like spend, because like, I don't know. I think it's like, sometimes I just, unfortunately, like when things happen in life, well, I'm always a really grateful person, but you just want to be grateful, because you just never know. I don't know how to describe it. Okay, I just don't know. But all right, mentors and role models. So very important. Back to like, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And if you are wanting to have, like, if you're wanting to achieve certain things, or you wanted to learn certain things, or be in certain positions or whatever, you need to be around like-minded people, or people who are already in those positions to help you. So maybe finding some mentors or people who are role models, and being able to be in spaces, in events, in classes, courses, whatever, being around them to see what steps that's needed for you to get there. Okay? And then get grounded. Aquarius is an air sign, so very opposite from grounded. Kind of live in your mind. You could also be like too overly like worried or overthinking everything. I think that's another thing that Aquarius energy can cause, overthinking. And then that can like put like fear and scattered energy and just certain things like that. So reminding yourself when you feel like you're overthinking, you're in your head a lot, you're worrying, anxious, any of that, to get grounded, connect to your body, meditate, breath work, going for a walk, dancing, working out, yoga, stuff like that. Things that help you connect to your body. Okay. So we have the 8 of Pentacles. Okay. I'm just gonna show all cards. We have 2 of Wands and we have the Temperance card. All right. So I use Oracle. I don't use tarot often. So whenever I do use tarot, I like to use AI to help me. Okay. The Aquarius that I am have learned healthy ways to use AI, and it's using AI for your tarot spreads is a game changer. So let me enter this in AI, what the spread means, and I'm going to read to you what the message is. Okay. You have the 8 of Pentacles upright, we have the 2 of Wands reversed, and we have the Temperance reversed. I use Gemini because Jupiter's in Gemini, of course. But I'm just kidding. Not really. Okay. I use Gemini for AI, and I entered 8 of Pentacles, 2 of Wands reversed, Temperance in a collective tarot reading. So let's see. What's the message? Okay, this combination of cards in a collective tarot reading suggests a period of focus on practical skills and work, coupled with some hesitation or setbacks in pursuing broader goals and a need for balance and moderation. Here's the breakdown. So the 8 of Pentacles, this card often represents dedication to a craft, learning new skills, or putting in the hard work necessary to achieve a goal. In a collective reading, it suggests a general focus on practical matters, perhaps a collective push towards improving skills, productivity, or the overall state of the economy. It can also point to a time of apprenticeship or training, both literally and metaphorically. 2 of Wands reversed. The 2 of Wands upright signifies planning, making decisions, and exploring new possibilities. When reversed, it can indicate a lack of direction, and this came reversed. So when reversed, it can indicate a lack of direction, fear of the unknown, or setbacks in achieving long-term goals. In a collective context, this could represent uncertainty about the future, perhaps due to economic instability, social changes, or political events, It could also suggest a feeling of being stuck or unable to move forward with collective projects or plans. It warns against impulsive decisions and suggests a need for careful reassessment. And the Temperance. Okay, so I was very tired last night that I didn't realize that I inputted the tarot spread wrong. I put the Temperance card to be upright, and I should have said it was reversed. So I double checked it now, and it made the whole last part of the reading and general reading different. Which honestly, I felt like, this was a very good reading. Like, it wasn't too much major things happening that I could see, which I was like, maybe this Aquarius season, this Pluto in Aquarius, this is not this new beginning into shift in America is gonna not be it just seemed very calm and peaceful, and I was just kind of you can see my camera too right there. Anyways, here's the actual reading. I entered, like I said, the Temperance card reversed, but then I just inputted everything else again. So it says, this is a more challenging combination than before. With Temperance reversed, the message shifts from finding balance to a potential lack thereof. Here's the breakdown. 8 of Pentacles, as before, this signifies a focus on work, skills, and practical efforts within the collective, which makes me think of that Capricorn Mercury for sure. And there's still a strong emphasis on dedication and craftsmanship. Capricorn, but also Aquarius. Two of Wands reverse. This maintains its meaning of hesitation of some sort. We feeling there's some hesitancy, setbacks, and long-term plans, which I don't like. I don't know what that means, but I don't like any setbacks. And potential fear of the unknown, which makes a lot of sense, because we are gonna be going through shifts, and I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of unknown, which also makes me think of the North Node in Pisces. Now the nodes are different; they have changed. The North Node is in Pisces, South Node is in Virgo. South Node is all about like what we're gonna be like releasing, letting go of, we're letting a lot of the Virgo themes go. That's like an ending, release. And Pisces is more of like what we are going to be like collectively focusing more on the themes. And Virgo is about control, needing to know the details. Pisces is about like, is more of the unknown. And when you think of Pisces, it's 12th house. It's things that we can feel, but we just don't see. We don't know. We can't see the end results. And we just have to have faith. So anyways, makes me think of that. And then also with the Aquarius thing, as an Aquarius and just Aquarius energy, hyper awareness of the future. Anyways, yeah, okay. The collective may be facing obstacles that make it difficult to move forward with confidence. Okay. Okay, so the temperance reverse. This is the key change. When temperance is reversed, it suggests imbalance, disharmony, and a lack of moderation. In a collective reading, this could manifest as, okay, listen to this. Extremes in viewpoints or actions. Difficulty finding common ground, leading to polarization, and conflict. Okay. Lack of patience and impulse decisions, which makes me think of Mars and Cancer energy. Very much so Mars and Cancer energy, because it's kind of like acting on your feelings that you feel right now, kind of lashing out based on how you feel in the moment, or because you're so overwhelmed and you're not rational, you're just irrational about your feelings, and then maybe regretting it later when you realize, it's more of that. It's not really thinking, not practical, not rational. And then the extremes in viewpoints or actions, difficulty finding common ground, leading to a polarization and conflict. Yeah, that makes me also think more about like this Aries energy that's gonna be happening. Which I don't really, I'm just kind of trying to disconnect my feelings and kind of just express the astrology of it all, or connected to that. And then even like, lack of patience and impulsive decisions also, it's Mars, which Mars is ruled by Aries, or Aries is ruled by Mars, that connection. And then we have the Cancer energy, which is Mars in Cancer. So it says, so going back to lack of patience and impulsive decisions, hasty actions without considering the consequences, disrupted flow and lack of synergy. Projects may face delays or setbacks due to poor coordination and lack of cooperation. Okay. Potential for burnout or exhaustion, overworking without proper rest or balance, which is why we got that. I kept getting that card, that back to the basics card, which is taking care of your basic foundations, your body, your emotions. And maybe with this, once again, this Capricorn, Mercury and Capricorn energy, which I feel like is not going to be there for that long, but there is going to be like a tendency, like trying to balance what you want to do externally, but Mars is going to be in Cancer for a while, so that is like very much, Cancer is tied to the ruler of Cancer is the moon, which represents our emotions and our body, taking care of ourselves, caring for ourselves, mothering ourselves, nurturing ourselves. So yeah, so whatever that's happening externally, there's still going to be that like need to take care of ourselves. And if we haven't been taking care of ourselves, then that's when maybe like, not like, I don't want to say like explode, like I don't like to use that word, but like there's an explosion of like emotions, outbursts, that kind of thing. Okay, so then it says putting it together. This combination paints a picture of a collective that's diligently working, Eight of Pentacles, but facing significant challenges due to a lack of balance and direction. Two of Wands reversed and Temperance reversed. The inability to find compromise and moderation, Temperance reversed, exacerbates the difficulties in pursuing long-term goals. Two of Wands reversed. So here are some possible interpretations for the collective. Hard work without clear direction. People may be putting in a lot of effort, but without a clear vision or strategy. Their efforts may be scattered and ineffective. Increased conflict and tension. Disagreements and lack of cooperation could hinder progress and create a stressful environment. Need for urgent reevaluation and adjustment. Current plans and approaches may need to be thoroughly reassessed to address the imbalances and lack of direction. Importance of self-care and stress management. So, yeah. Once again, Mars and Cancer energy. The collective needs to prioritize. Listen, this is the message for us. We need to prioritize our well-being and avoid burnout by promoting healthy boundaries and stress-reducing practices. And then it says, lastly, this combination serves as a warning. Oh my gosh. I felt a little like something in my chest, like a little like a little anxious twig in my chest. Cause this is like AI telling us this stuff, which this is, now we're in Aquarius season, because I'm filming this the next day, which now I have this, today is the first day of Aquarius season. And I don't know, this just hits me as an Aquarius of like using like the future. This AI is giving us this like message, this, I don't know, it's just a weird, this is just a weird combination of things. But it says this combination serves as a warning to the collective to address the imbalances and find a more harmonious way of working together. It emphasizes the need for open communication and compromise. Oof. To bridge differences and find common ground. Careful planning and strategic thinking, meaning not thinking about, not acting off of your emotions and acting impulsively. To create a clear vision, so there needs to be careful planning and strategic thinking to create a clear vision and direction for the future. Patience and moderation. To avoid impulsive actions and find sustainable solutions. And now it says, it ends this off by saying, by acknowledging these challenges and actively working to restore balance, the collective can overcome these obstacles and move towards a more positive and productive future. Wow, that was a lot to sit with. I have so many comments and so many things I want to say, but I feel that we should just sit with that. Sit with this and remember this message throughout Aquarius season and throughout for the next 30 days or however the next month, and also throughout this year. We will be coming back to this. I will be coming back to this. I will be reflecting on this. Definitely. Well, those are the themes. Those are going to be the themes of this Aquarius season. Definitely ending and a beginning happening. I want to say, like, with the Pluto being involved, the start of a death and a rebirth of something. Entering or like experiencing the dark, but the dark will then lead us to the light of some sort. Not saying that that's going to happen like right now, but that definitely feels like the energy and the vibe. But I think that's more of a long-term thing, because we are going to have Pluto is going to be conjuncting the sun, and we'll just see. But the point is, that's the reading. I will come back at the end of Aquarius season, and we're going to reflect back on this reading and see what showed up for us and what showed up for what didn't, or what didn't show up. We're going to just reflect back on this reading, and I'm going to also share like my personal experience of Aquarius season as an Aquarius sun person, as an Aquarius. All right. Thank you for watching. Share this with anyone that you feel that could use it. Actually take something out of this that stood out to you and apply it in your real life. This is the only way that these readings and any of my videos are going to really help you, is if you actually do something once you click off of this video. So please do that so you can make an actual change in your life. Talk to you later.